I think we really need to have a talk on what the San Antonio Spurs are attempting to do.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so I want to talk about the Spurs, and I'm just going to have this more of a discussion type video, okay? Please leave comments in the middle of this video and just tell me what you think about this, because I don't think that I've been very open on what I directly want to see from the San Antonio Spurs going forward, and I'm going to try to attempt to do that here. So first and foremost, let's just go ahead and be honest. When we look at this roster, is this a roster that we definitely believe that we can win with even a couple seasons from now? If you truly believe that, I just have to disagree. Now, a lot of people have questioned me and saying, dude, you used to be so positive. Like, why are you being so, like, negative Nancy? Like, dude, you love the Spurs. Like, you were always so hype on. Guys, I am hype on the Spurs. I love some of the players on this team, and I don't necessarily hate the direction that Brian Wright is going in. But at the same time, I'm also realistic. All those times that I was super hype on the San Antonio Spurs and I was like, oh, we're going to make the playoffs, we're going to be 5th seed, 6th seed. I truly meant that. I didn't just do it for show. I truly meant that. No matter what, I'm going to be completely honest with how I feel. And how I feel right now is I'm not 100% believing in this team to bring us a championship. I'm sorry. It might be controversial, might be a hot take, but I don't completely believe it. So overall, let me go ahead and talk about what the San Antonio Spurs ideologies are here. You can choose one of two ideologies, and I'll tell you which one the Spurs are choosing, okay? So you can either, one, win now, or two, win later. Now, what are the San Antonio Spurs trying to do? I'm going to get into that in a minute. So first and foremost, let's talk about winning now. So winning now would be going after DeAndre Ayton. It's been pretty well known that the Spurs are one of those teams that have a pretty decent chance at getting DeAndre Ayton, and they're one of the teams that are going to go after him. I mean, it'd be silly not to, right? So they're going to go after him. Or you can also try to go after Zach LaVine. Now, here's the thing with Zach LaVine. We talked about it already. If you go after Zach LaVine, you're going to have to do a sign and trade for DeAndre Ayton more than likely, okay? You're not going to be able to get Zach LaVine and DeAndre Ayton without getting rid of something, because you're not going to have enough money. And even then, you're just scraping by. Like, you still don't have quite as enough. You're just scraping by. But that would mean getting rid of probably Jakob Poeltl and Doug McDermott, get rid of those contracts. And then the question would be, would the Suns even take it? Well, then you're going to have to probably get rid of some future round picks. So look, you can try to win now, but that's what that kind of looks like. Trying to get DeAndre Ayton, trying to get Zach LaVine, and winning now doesn't even necessarily mean, in my opinion, going after a championship. It would just mean winning now, as in being 5th, 6th seed, and maybe down the line you could win, but it will be more than likely you're going to be 6th, 7th seed with DeAndre Ayton added to this roster. Now, another situation that I think would be comparable to winning now would be just keeping the team as it is right now. Let's just say that they keep all their picks, nothing changes. We just take a full-on wait and see approach. Now, a few guys obviously are gonna have to be kicked off the team, just how it is. Maybe a few guys sent to G League. Something's gonna have to happen here, but let's just say minimal changes, not much happens, and you just go into next season with almost the same roster. And I do believe that this team next season could scrape into the playoffs. We're talking 8th, 7th seed, scrape into the playoffs. Now, those are the two options, I think, with the ideology of winning now. Now, if we're trying to win later, what does that look like? Well, I think that you can just go ahead and go all in on trading up. So you can try to trade up, get that number 3 pick, and that would mean getting rid of quite a few guys. Now, I've seen some articles saying things like this, like you get rid of Devin Vassell 9th and 20th and Bulls 2025 first round, and you get your Bart. No. If you're going to get that 3rd spot, guys, you're not going to be able to get rid of so much little. Like, that's not bad, but that's not a top 3 pick worthy trade right there. If you really want to get in that 3rd, I mean, I know we want to hold on to players, but I just have a hard time believing you're going to be able to hold on to Keldon Johnson and DeJounte Murray. I'm sorry. I don't see it. I don't see any type of alternate universe where that can happen. I've seen every single scenario like Doctor Strange, and that is not one of them. So I think that you're going to have to get rid of DeJounte Murray and Keldon Johnson to move forward. Okay, so that will be a winning later situation. Or here's another thing you can do. You can just trade for picks in the future. Do whatever you can. Just grab some role players or some guys, not necessarily off the street, okay, but just some role players. Just do some trades and get some future picks and just really pack on your picks for the future. Now, here's the question. Which one are the San Antonio Spurs choosing? I think they're trying to choose both. And I'm just going to base that off of the fact that they've been doing this a lot. So when I say that they're trying to do both, they're going to go after DeAndre Ayton, okay? But I also think that in this draft, they're going to attempt to possibly trade up, but not get rid of everybody. And that's just how I feel. I think that what they're going to do is going forward, they're going to end up just being stuck with their picks. I could be wrong. I think we're going to be stuck with our picks. The 9th, 20th, 25th, 38th. Those are some good, like, great picks, okay, especially in this draft that's so deep. But then at the same time, I think they're going to take that, and then they're going to try to get DeAndre Ayton, and they're going to be a team, if they can get DeAndre Ayton, a team that's around the 5th, 6th, because we know that the San Antonio Spurs have been riding the fence for a few seasons now. They haven't necessarily 100% built into or bought into the rebuild process. They're like, look, we can win now. We have... we have Popovich right now. Obviously, Pop is not going to want to lose. So it's like, let's just try to keep the team how it is, constructed in a way that we can win now, and we can still have guys growing for the future. I don't hate that. I don't hate that, especially in this draft. Let's say 9th, you get a Eason, right? And let's say that even Sohan, people are saying that he could possibly fall. Like, what if you got a Sohan at 20th? Like, these are good. These are some really solid picks that can grow in the future. It's going to take some time, and then you can try to win now. Now, that's where I think the Spurs are trying to do. I think they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. What do I want? Well, I'll be honest with you. My fandom says yes, do what the San Antonio Spurs are doing right now. Try to keep the team as constructed right now as possible. Try to get DeAndre Ayton, win now so we can have a good season. And then in the future, maybe 2, 3, 4 years down the line, we have a team that's pretty doggone good. You know, maybe, possibly, who knows, but maybe. But that's my fandom talking. But logically, that doesn't happen with teams, okay? Logically, you usually have to go through a full rebuild. Usually you have to get that superstar. You have to get that star, and you have to be pretty confident in that star going forward. And you're usually going to have a few seasons that are really, really bad. And the Spurs have already had one that was pretty bad. But me personally, what I would want, okay, just honestly, okay, this is my logic speaking. Fandom wants one thing, logic wants this. Just blow it up. Blow it up. I don't necessarily mean like every single player gone, and I'm not going to sit here and point out the players that I say, yeah, just, you know, get rid of. But I think it would be best for the team going forward, because I want a championship, okay? I think it'll be best for the team going forward if you just blow this thing up and you allow guys, if you can trade up, okay? And that would mean getting rid of as many guys as you can and getting rid of as many right now picks as possible. I wouldn't get rid of too many future picks, but trying to move up and then let those guys grow, like Primo and Banchero together, you know, for the future. Or you can just trade some of these players for some future picks. Honestly, that's where my logic is, because even though we would be struggling right now, we would still have a really bright future later on. So that's kind of where I'm at. I think that you should have a legitimate rebuild. And I know some people have made the argument like, what are you talking about? This team is good right now. Look at the way Keldon Johnson plays. And I have to be honest, Keldon Johnson, it would be great on a championship team, okay? But at the same time, I think that he'll be taken more on like a PJ Tucker type role, where he will be more of a brute force, kind of 3-and-D type player. That's where I see him at. And DeJounte Murray, I know a lot of people have said, well, DJ, he's the star of the future. And I think DJ can be on a championship team as well. Like, he could be like the second, maybe third option, I would say. But even DeJounte Murray, no one on this roster right now have necessarily shocked me as far as what they became. Now, I was expecting Lonnie Walker to be a little bit more, but the issues that he had as far as like mentally are still there, still apparent. Devin Vassell, he's still kind of the player that we expected him to be. And DeJounte Murray, I saw him getting to this point. Like, everyone kind of saw that DeJounte Murray, the way that he played, he would be a close to triple-double type player in you know, his career at some point, because that's just his game. He's a really good rebounder, good all-around player. I'll be honest, I was shocked by the over 20 points per game. That was a little shocking to me, but I will say this, he got in so many opportunities, and on top of it, I think the second half of the season he really took it up a notch as far as scoring. So yeah, so it was shocking, but not too shocking. But overall, this team is who we thought they were. The only guy right now that I could really say with confidence that we don't know how great he can be, but he has everything in his arsenal to be great, is Josh Primo. So look, I know this is more of a ramble. I just rambled and rambled and rambled, but what I really want, as far as logically, is just to blow the team up. Just do everything you can to invest in the future, and it's not necessarily right now that we need to win, but my fandom wants it, but I don't think that it's necessary. So you guys let me know what you think. I know that this was kind of a long video of me just talking like crazy, but I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. If you want to support the channel, only $2 a month, Patreon, YouTube members, link in the description for that. I'll get with you guys later. Until next time, deuces.